never imagined a laugh could carry the weight of a threat, but that night, it did. We were at a friend's birthday, one of those chaotic, crowded gatherings where everyone pretends to be happier than they really are. Music pounding, glasses clinking, people talking over each other just to be heard. My wife, Sarah, was a few drinks in already, glowing with that careless, magnetic confidence she got when she felt admired. I stood beside her, smiling when expected, nodding along to conversations I barely cared about, doing what I had always done. Steady, present, the man who never made waves. We'd been married 6 years, together 10. Long enough to know each other's rhythms, long enough to know which jokes were harmless and which cut deeper than they seemed. Sarah had always wielded her words like a weapon she called humor. I had learned to swallow it. Over time, it became routine. She teased me in front of others, rolled her eyes mid-sentence, corrected me as though I were a child fumbling for facts. I told myself it was nothing, that love wasn't about ego, that real men didn't get offended by jokes. That night, conversation wandered, as it always does, toward marriage and relationships. Who settled for whom? Someone joked about how easy it would be to walk away if life got dull. People laughed. Sarah laughed the loudest. She leaned into me, her hand gripping my arm, delivering it like the punchline everyone was waiting for. I mean, I could leave you right now. She laughed, careless and bold, the kind meant to show confidence, to declare she had options. A few people chuckled. Someone raised an eyebrow. I felt every gaze shift to me, waiting for my role. The easygoing husband, the one who laughs it off. For a moment, I said nothing. Something settled in my chest. Heavy, calm, clear. It wasn't anger. It wasn't hurt. It was clarity. I realized how familiar the scene was. How often I had stood in rooms just like this, smiling while my value became a joke. How often I had told myself it didn't matter because, at the end of the night, she came home with me. Sarah nudged me, still expecting a witty comeback, something self-deprecating, safe. Instead, I looked her in the eye and said, quietly but firmly, "Then get out." The laughter stopped. Not all at once, not dramatically, but enough. Enough for the air to shift. Her smile froze, as if she hadn't heard me correctly. "What?" she asked, half laughing, expecting me to clarify. I said, "Get out," I repeated. Same tone. "Go then. If you can leave me right now, then go ahead." The throat cleared. Someone suddenly became fascinated with their phone. Sarah's eyes scanned the room, looking for an ally to turn this back into a joke. No one stepped up. Embarrassed, she scoffed. "Oh my God, relax. I was kidding." I nodded slowly. "I know, that's the problem." She stared at me as if she were seeing a stranger. Maybe she was. Maybe I was finally seeing myself. She muttered something about me being dramatic, grabbed her purse, and stormed out. The party continued awkwardly, guests pretending nothing significant had occurred. Friends patted me on the back, assured me she didn't mean it, told me to give her time. I didn't stay. I drove home alone, the silence of the car louder than any music at the party. Back at the house, her heels sat by the door, her coat draped over a chair. She paced in the bedroom, rehearsing her version of the night. "So now you're embarrassing me in front of everyone," she snapped. "You couldn't just play along like a normal person?" I set my keys down slowly. "I've been playing along for years." She laughed, thinner this time. "You're really upset over one stupid joke?" I looked at her and felt a weariness that sleep could not fix. It wasn't one joke. It was all of them. Tonight was just the first time I stopped pretending they didn't matter. She crossed her arms. "So what? You're threatening me now? Telling me to leave?" I shook my head. "No. You told me you could leave. I just stopped begging you to stay." Her face flickered with uncertainty. She tried to mask it, opened her mouth, closed it, then said, "You don't mean that." I did. For the first time, I didn't soften the truth. Didn't explain it away. Didn't wrap it in humor to make it easier to swallow. I let the silence carry the weight my words never could. She went to bed angry, slamming the door. I slept on the couch, staring at the ceiling, replaying the moment. Not with regret, but with a quiet sense of relief. Something had been said that could not be taken back. Something honest. The next morning, she acted as if nothing had happened. Made coffee, offered eggs, the usual reset button. I looked at her across the kitchen counter and understood how easy it would be to apologize, to smooth it over, to preserve the peace. Instead, I said, "We need to talk about what happens next." She frowned. "What are you talking about?" "We're fine." I exhaled slowly. "No, we've just been quiet about not being fine." Her coffee mug hovered midair, and for the first time, she looked nervous. That's when I knew the joke had finally landed.